Hi everyone. Happy Tuesday. I love seeing all the comments come through, and I love that you always share where you're from because that's the best part. I love the piece that we're all connected through this crazy digital space, right? I was just talking to my sister before the live. I see somebody from North Carolina. I saw Atlanta. My sister, South Carolina too. Okay. My sister just dropped my niece off in Kansas for college. So I want to know if anyone's from Kansas because she's a little sad to have my niece be in Kansas, but I'm sure Kansas is lovely. I'm sure it's lovely this time of year. It's so awesome to see so many of you. Hello, hello, hello. I cannot wait to dive a little bit deeper into our story collaboration tonight, but I saw a question about snow. Sadly, no snow in Ashland. Well, that's not true. Right before Christmas, we got a dusting here at our house. Ashland proper, I think, is at like 2,000 feet, maybe like 1,900, and our house is closer to 2,500 feet. So we always like dance right on the line of snow. But there's been a lot of snow in the nearby mountains, and like Grizzly Peak, which I talk about in the bake shop a lot, I can see from our deck upstairs, and it is almost always covered in snow. So it's really beautiful. And you only have to drive like 20 minutes tops to get to snow. So we've done quite a lot of snowshoeing this year. That's very exciting. Hello, hello, hello from Canada. So fun to see you. Georgia. Oh, you got your master's. Gretchen got her master's at Fort Hays in Kansas. Okay, that's good. Cheryl, I did hear that Texas was having snow too, which that's probably more rare than having snow here in Oregon. Am I right about that? Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I sort of don't think Texas is always getting snow, but I could be wrong. So correct me. What else is everyone up to tonight? It is a blustery day here in Ashland. It's not snowy, but it has been windy. In fact, this winter has been particularly windy. We've been getting windstorms nonstop. I was joking with my son that like the new version of a snow day is going to be like a lose power day, right? Because even if it snows now, they'll still be in school because it's online. So now you have to wish for a snow day. Yeah, or a blackout, exactly. I do need to do a snow dance. I want to do a snow dance. It's funny too because we always end up talking about weather, I guess, but we were just looking at the long-term forecast the other night. And the other thing is so Ashland is really like its own thing in Oregon. We're at the very, very bottom of the state. Like California is what, 10 minutes away from Ashland? Not even. So we get colder here because we're at elevation and we're up in the mountains, but we also get so much sun. And then it turns to spring pretty quickly. So I don't know if we're going to get snow this year or not. It could happen. It's happened in February or March before, but it might not happen either. So I don't know. We'll have to see. Tricia said, I told my students we're still having snow days, right? I mean, come on, it's a rite of passage. You have to have a snow day. It's not the same. You have to be able to like go out and dance in it. Now, for those of you in the Midwest, I know it's probably like, just stop talking about snow because come on. All right, so what I thought we would do tonight, I wasn't sure because this version of our story collaboration is brand new. If you didn't join in last week, we are creating an entirely new setting and cast of characters and plot points for our spin-off. Well, it's not a spin-off, for our short mystery together. And so initially I was thinking, oh, maybe I would read the first pages tonight. But once we had our live last week, I was like, oh my gosh, you all had so many brilliant ideas. I had such a hard time whittling them down. And then I don't know if you had a hard time in the vote, but what I thought I would do tonight is I'm going to reveal all of the votes. Probably many of you have seen the winning answer. And then I thought we could do a deeper dive into each of the 7 topics to give us a little bit more to work with. And then next week, I will share the first pages. And then we're going to start the process of you writing as well. And on that note of writing, I thought it would be fun to share some writing inspired stickers. I've shared these a lot with my Author Academy people, some of whom I see on here. So we've got some fun dun dun duns and some I'm only here to establish my alibi and eat, write, sleep, repeat. And meh, when you feel like your writing is just junk, you need this on your desk, especially if you're going to write a page don't let that get in your head. Like, you should always just keep writing, because once you get something on the page, then you can fix it and you can make it better and you can bring it to life. So if this is going to be your first foray into writing something in our group here, then I definitely want you to have one of these. So the tech guy is just going to choose some comments from random tonight to share some sticker giveaways.
So if people want to be eligible, I'm going to comment.
Okay, he says if you want to be eligible, make sure you comment, because that's how he's going to do his little random generator. I love it. Beth, the title choices were so fabulous. I'm with you 100% on that. Okay, so just again, if you haven't followed along, yay, Lillian, you need that on your computer. It's the best. If you haven't followed along, not only are we creating a new world together this time, but you are going to be writing pages. So I'm going to write an introduction, and then after we do that, I'm going to send it out to you all to say, like, pick me. I want to try. You don't have to. There's no pressure. This is all for fun. I also just, like, I want to reiterate that so many times. The whole goal of this is just to do something fun and collaborative together. So this is not something like this will be put out there for free. This is, you know, our collective process. This is not anything that should keep you up at night or have you break out in a sweat, unless it's because you're so terrified of the plot that we come up with and, you know, the killer or whatever. Okay, so on that note, let's go ahead and start with number 1. Are you ready for this? The first question that we talked about last week was about setting. And after so many fabulous ideas, what's that?
I was too quick on the draw.
You were too quick on the draw? No, it's good. Last week we talked about setting, and there were so many great ideas. In fact, I was really loving Paris. I was secretly hoping for Paris, only because then I would have to, like, spend a day probably researching Paris just to make sure I got those opening pages right. No, I'm just kidding. But our setting is going to be at a theme park, which I think is absolutely brilliant. So tonight, what I want you to do when we go through each of these individual questions is, here tonight on the live, I want you to add in your thoughts. So, okay, it's a theme park. And is the theme park big? Is the theme park like a tiny little small family-owned theme park? Is it super creepy? Like, do we want the murder to take place in broad daylight, at night? Are the rides run down? Is it new and sparkling, like, you know, a fictional version of Disneyland? So I would love it if you would hit me with your ideas of the theme park. Mary worked at a local theme park for several years. You did? Okay, Mary, you got a dish. Tell us the insider scoop on working on a theme park. Are you perpetually happy all the time? Or are you just like, I never want to smile again? I need to know that. She'll come back. Let's see. Okay. Love the theme park idea. Helen, you worked at Disneyland. Oh my gosh, you're going to have ideas too. I know there are all kinds of, like, insider secrets and, like, YouTube videos and even books and stuff on secrets to Disneyland. So yeah, we could work those in. So anything like that, like, is there a tunnel that maybe the cast goes down? Because we could use that in our plot and send, you know, a murderer or one of the suspects sneaking down a hallway or something like that. It would be great if it was an older run. Yes, like Wally World 40 years later, like Wally World after the fact. Yes, Lynn, that's great. A prehistoric theme park. Judy, that's another fun idea. We're going to get dinosaurs involved. Tina says family run. Yes. So what we're going to do with this is, let's just have a conversation about it, because this is perfect. This is exactly what I'm hoping for. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'll put these out in polls. Or the other thing that I might do is I might just pull a bunch of them, depending on, you know, how much crossover there is. A small rundown theme park that was closed and somebody recently bought it to revive it. Yes, that's good. Coney Island. Camille likes glittery, magical, gypsy owned. That's awesome. Coney Island is probably, you're right, Bonnie, it's probably a little bit harder to get creeped out unless it was at night. And again, we're going to write a cozy, so it doesn't have to go super dark, but it's just always fun to put like a little touch of something. Do some research on Pleasure Beach in England. Okay. Oh, very interesting. I've never heard of it. Helen says yes to tunnels. That's great. Murder in the House of Mirrors. Oh, yes. I love that. Definitely small family owned. Okay, that's coming up. Oh, Judy says Enchanted Forest. Yes. So here in Oregon, we have a family owned theme park, Enchanted Forest, which is all based on storybook characters, and it's super creepy. Super creepy. It's tucked into the woods, and so it's right off I-5. Yeah, it was definitely a must stop when we were kids, and it's very creepy. Ooh. The tech guy's already bringing out his sound effects. Okay, this is good. This gives us a lot to work with. Oh, a water park, Carrie, that's good too. There could definitely be some spooky stuff going on in a water park. Okay, moving on to number 2. Oh, no, we're not moving on to number 2. We're doing stickers. Ray Foster, you get a set of writing stickers. So you're going to get your very own version of dun, dun, dun. Love it. And this one is my favorite. I'm only here to establish my alibi. That's why we are all here tonight. We're just establishing our alibis. We're figuring it out. Okay, yeah. If you win a sticker pack tonight, send me a private message here on my main Facebook page and send me your address, and then I will send them out. Funhouse with mirrors, yes. Check out Del Grosso's Park and Water Park in Pennsylvania. Okay, oh, good. I love it. Okay, this is going to be great. Okay, so moving on to question number 2, we asked who was going to be our sleuth, and you all picked a nerdy tech guy. Where could that have come from? Huh? I wonder. Nerdy tech guy. All right, so let's dive deeper into nerdy tech guy vibes. So I would love, first of all, you to be thinking names. Toss out any names that you think would be great for our tech guy. Now remember, our tech guy is going to be our sleuth. Our tech guy may or may not work at the theme park. Oh, you're welcome, Ray. Our tech guy could work at the theme park, or maybe he's there to fix a technical issue with the ride, or maybe he's just there on his day off because he's a super tech geek and he loves carnival rides or whatever it's going to be. So names is what's his purpose for being there? Why is the tech guy there? This is exactly what I go through, the process that I go through when I sit down to write a mystery. I start thinking about like, you know, what are those points of connections? Why is this tech guy going to be at a theme park? Is he on staff there? Did he get called in for an emergency? Or is he just there having a great time and suddenly his day gets turned upside down because he stumbles upon a body? This is a must. Lynn says, a nerdy tech guy who loves Star Wars. Okay, yes. I love it. The tech guy was too easy, George says, but perfect. I know. That was perfect. The best part is this isn't even me. You're all suggesting it. Oliver Hawthorne. Ooh, yeah, that's good. Sherlock, Marie, that's perfect. Lee is thinking he's there to fix a technical issue. My husband your husband is a tech guy. And his name is Steve. So, okay, I like it. Simon, Josh, Leo, Frank, Sherman. Ooh, these are all great choices. What else? Heather, that's brilliant. The tech guy is there to work on sound effects for park rides. Very nice. He's there on a first date. Oh, good. Okay, and so this is another question that we need to know about our tech guy. Is he really young? Is he fresh out of college and he's at the theme park for the first time, whether it's a date or a job? Sheldon is perfect. Ooh, that's a good name. Is he there? Is he in his 40s? Like, you know, is he like in midlife? Maybe he's a bit older. Maybe he's retired and he's at the theme park for fun, or he gets called in because they need extra help. Ray, computer systems are down that control the rides. Ooh, that's good. I love it. Yes. So yeah, what's the tech guy's backstory? This is another part of plotting that we do as writers. We start thinking about like, okay, what's their story? Like, what's his motivation? Oh, I like this. Toys all in. The tech guy's grandfather worked at the old theme park. He had heard stories growing up about mysterious things, but his grandpa never told him why the park closed down. Dun dun dun. Dun 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 dun. There it is. He does the fireworks and light show. That's an excellent suggestion as well. He's getting set up for a haunted house. Yes. Okay, so think age, why he's there, names, and then a description. Like, is he a tech guy who's actually really kind of handsome, devilishly handsome, but he doesn't know it? Is he humble and shy? Is he like, does he wear glasses? All of those kind of things. These are your questions for the week. He hasn't been home in years. Oh, poor tech guy. 28-year-old sounds good. Lillian says all he does is work, work, work. Yes, he's setting up security. Anakin's another name. Oh, come on. You're going all in for Star Wars. The tech guy approves, Anna. 40s. Okay. Good. I'm loving this. A young guy named Wyatt, Diana says. The new owners hired him to help with modernizing the park. That could be great. Wyatt reminds me, Wyatt was the name of a character in a show called Timeless. Did anyone see Timeless? It was very short-lived, which makes me so sad because I feel like all of the shows that we end up loving get canceled after like 2 or 3 seasons. This happened with Firefly, but Timeless was on just a couple years ago, and it was so great. It was a historical time travel show. So they would go back in time into history. So I love history, so it blended like sci-fi and history. If you're looking for something to watch, go find it. It's great, although you'll be sadly disappointed because I can't remember. It was either 1 season or 2, but it got cut short. Okay, let's see. While his wife is riding the ride, he goes to see the fortune teller because he's into magic cards and that kind of thing. Camille, I like where you're going. Camille has been paying attention because that sets us up for question number 3, which was, wait for it, who's the victim? Who is our victim? You all voted that our victim is going to be a fortune teller, which a fortune teller is definitely going to have purpose to be at our theme park. A fortune teller could be there because he or she is doing a special reading. Maybe they're doing an event. Maybe they're a permanent act. Maybe they too are just there for pleasure. So start thinking the same thing about our victim. Our victim needs a name, and it's a fortune teller. So I think you can have a little bit of fun with that. Oh, Marcia. Yes, it was Marcy. Sorry. It's so good. Also a brown coat. Yeah, we have similar taste, you and I. Okay. So in terms of fortune teller, the thing about this is, especially when it comes to a name, when you're writing fiction, and especially this is true in a cozy mystery, you can take a little leeway, you know. Our fortune teller could be named something normal like Ellie or Joyce or Judy. Our fortune teller could be named any of the names that are participating here tonight. Or our fortune teller could have a ridiculous, crazy, over-the-top name, which that name might tell us something alone, because is that name real? Is this name an alias that our fortune teller has made up? Who's to say? You're going to say that's who. So I want you to think name. I want you to think what the fortune teller's purpose for being there is. Is the fortune teller male or female? Are they androgynous? Do we know? I mean, there could be lots of interesting things about them. What is the fortune teller's vibe? Is the fortune teller somebody who looks like what we might think of with a stereotypical fortune teller? Or is it someone who perhaps looks like mild-mannered and is just sitting on a bench at the theme park and suddenly they're telling fortunes? I don't know. And then your last thing to think about with fortune tellers is age. Same thing. Is this someone who's young and cute and maybe the tech guy has his eye on? Or is this someone who's elderly and is having a hard time getting up from the bench, and that's why they're telling fortunes? Fortune teller is a permanent. Oh. This is for Katie Burkhalter. Katie Burkhalter, you get a set of writing mystery stickers. Okay, very good. Esmeralda, yes, that's a great name. The Mystic Muse. I'm loving that. Usually fortune tellers we do think of as women. Madame LaRue, oh, that's excellent. But the fortune teller doesn't have to be female. She could be anything, or he. Lady Sticky Fingers. Bonita. A bumbling, clumsy fortune teller. That's funny, Marie. That's not what you necessarily think of. That's another great way to do something that's unique in writing. You take something that we see in a stereotypical way and you flip it, right? We might think of a fortune teller as being all wise and knowing, but perhaps she's skittish. Yay, I'm glad you're excited about the stickers. She's trying to find out who swindled her parents out of their fortune. Oh yeah, Sarah, now we're already getting to plot. I love it. She's slightly older than the tech guy. They just started going out. Okay, very nice. Good stuff to work with. She's new to the job. Helen, she's part of a criminal ring that uses the park for what? I need to know. She's a fake. These are all great motives we're coming up with too. Very nice. Okay, so now we have our setting. We know it's at a theme park. We have our nerdy tech guy who's going to be piecing all the clues together. We have, sadly, a fortune teller who has met an untimely death at the park. How did said fortune teller meet their untimely death? Well, that takes us right into number 4, which is the weapon. This was the closest one. I was watching this for a couple days. I was sure that the ride was going to win. And then in the 11th hour, laced coffee snuck in as the winner. So that's most excellent because that gives us a lot to work with. So what I want you to be thinking about with this question as we dive a little bit deeper is the how. How? So there are many possibilities, knowing that it's at a theme park, right? So perhaps our fortune teller goes up to one of the food kiosks at the park and orders an iced latte. And somehow the poison got into that iced latte and she or he drops dead right there. Or maybe if the fortune teller is a permanent act or is an employee of the theme park, he or she has a coffee right next to them as they're doling out fortunes, and somehow that coffee is laced or spiked. I'm just tossing out 2 potential possibilities, but I want to hear from you. What are your other ideas in terms of how the fortune teller comes upon a laced coffee? Let's see. She's in her 60s, very youthful, fashionable, but is at the park to get a spiced pumpkin latte that she loves. Ooh, that's good. So she could be coming into the park just for that latte. That's a really interesting thread, because that would mean that potentially staff would know our fortune teller and recognize her. And so then maybe we could know that the murder is premeditated. That's very interesting. Katie says maybe the coffee gets mixed up when the tech guy stays up late trying to fix some issues. Aha, yes. Sherry says the same idea. Yeah, that perhaps what we see is not what we think. We assume then that the victim, our fortune teller, was the intended recipient of the poison, but perhaps that's not true. Maybe it was intended for the tech guy. Then the tech guy really has motive for wanting to solve the crime, right? Because suddenly his life is in danger. I like it. Judy says the tech guy is getting his fortune told and his coffee kills her. That's another great angle that you can take, because yet again, that is going to give our tech guy another reason to want to solve the crime, because all eyes are going to be on him if he's the last one who was alive with her and the last one to have touched her coffee. A vanilla latte with a hint of hemlock. I'm working on editing Bake Shop 14 right now, and I'm at my layer of food. Food is always the last thing that I do when I work on a book. And so today I have been fully immersed all day in food writing. And I just said to myself, I just made a note before we started the live, how many times have you said aroma and fragrance? Because, you know, as I'm describing food, it's always like the aroma, the intoxicating aroma of hemlock, laced hemlock. Anna Louise, she buys 3 coffees, one for the tech guy, one for his love, and one for her. She's going to tell their fortunes mixed up. The coffees, very nice. I like it. Very good. A disgruntled fortune teller patron was given incorrect info and gets back at the fortune teller for dousing her coffee. That's a very good motive, Leslie. I love it. Excellent. Okay, those are all great. All right. Moving on to number 5. The next thing that we talked about was the season. So you all voted that it's going to be summer, late summer. It's hurricane season, which I think is brilliant because that's going to give us a lot of atmosphere and, you know, maybe the storm is coming in, but I want a little more information on that. So is the park shutting down because of the hurricane? Are these our victim, the tech guy, and our victim, are they kind of some of the last people in the park? Or do we know that the storm is coming? And so everyone's at the park in the morning because they know that it's potentially going to get shut down in the afternoon, or vice versa. Is it nighttime? Are they stuck in the park? What other ideas in terms of that atmosphere can we add into our mystery? And this is the part of writing that really, I think, helps center readers in the story. Because like we talked about this at the start, you know, like, oh, what's the weather your way? Is it snowing? We learn so much from a sensory perspective when we're surrounded by all the elements around us. So, you know, is it the early stages of a hurricane? Clearly, I'm from the West Coast, so hurricanes are not really a thing here, although we get winter winds that blow at like 100 miles an hour just normally. So I guess that's our version. But think about that. Like, how can we use that in our story? Could things be going wrong with the rides? Is there debris flying around? Could somebody potentially have another accident, but that is involved in weather? You know, there are so many directions we can take it. Marie says a tree falls over the exit. Yes, that's a great idea. Anna says the park is shutting down at twilight. The storm's getting worse by the hour. Yeah, so that might build in some natural tension too, because we know that not only then has a murder occurred, but things are getting worse outside. That's excellent. We get an alert that it's coming a day or so before it gets there, Melissa. Okay, that's good to know. So there would be some warning in advance. Heather says, the fortune teller's found after the hurricane when everyone was supposed to have taken shelter. Oh, she's found under a collapsed tent. That could be great. Lynn says, the storm's arriving later. Today's the last day before it closes, so everybody's trying to get it in. Okay. Let's see. The tech guy's helping to shut down the park. They're stuck in the park and trying to stay safe. Excellent. So good. Oh, that's an interesting idea, Liliana. Storm is coming. She keeps telling them the storm is coming, but no one would believe her. I like that motive too. Very nice. Hurricane prompts tornadoes. Does that really happen? Do hurricanes prompt tornadoes? I don't know. I'd love to know that for reals. Yeah, we don't live in either. Yeah, we've had like a few little minor like duster tornadoes in the Pacific Northwest, but nothing major. Windy, flying debris at night. Yes, that's all great. I know. Fonda says everyone's ideas are so great. They are so great. I love it. Camille says if you're familiar with hurricane season, which I'm not, so this is going to be good, it can just be very hot, sultry, and humid ahead of the storm. I like that a lot from an atmosphere perspective. Yeah, everybody's kind of sweating. This is going to give our fortune teller motive to go probably get an ice cold drink if it's humid and she's sweaty or he's sweaty. They do cause tornadoes. Okay, good. Who knew?
That's terrible.
That is terrifying. Okay, I learned something tonight. We don't have those in Ashland, Oregon. I mean, you know, I've seen Twister, but I don't think I. No, I'm just kidding. Absolutely, hurricanes will form 8 tornadoes on the eastern side of the storm. Wow, I had no idea. And microstorms. And oh, Diana, that's good. It's very still before it hits. Excellent. So there could be that like eerie, creepy calm, the calm before the storm. Okay, very good. All right, let's see. Moving on to number 6. Food. I threw this one in because you had so many great food ideas. So I put them all in, not all of them. I put many of them in, and then I had to throw in an option that was all of the food, all of the food. So we're gonna do all of the food for sure. Oh, we're still talking hurricanes here. Hurricanes bring ooh, oh, you've got some sound effects for that. Nice. Very good. Okay, typing 8 is not what you meant to say, right? I wondered if it was like a specific number, but okay, good. Hurricanes are honestly scary and usually hit at night. Interesting. Okay. So in terms of food, like with the very first Bake Shop spinoff that we did, I would love for anyone who wants to share a recipe. Do you have a family favorite recipe? Do you have a recipe from a restaurant that you love? Do you have a made-up recipe? Anything like that that is related to our theme. So our theme is really pretty broad. I added in a lot of fair food because of the theme, and I tried to space those polls later. Writing stickers. Marcy Young, you get a set of writing stickers. Da, 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 da. So if you have a specific recipe in mind that you want to share, add that to the comments. And then, like what we did with Bake Shop, we will put your final recipe into the finished version of the book. And I use book loosely because remember, all told, this is going to end up being like 50 pages. So it's short and for fun, right? Cheesecake on a stick. Oh my gosh, fried pickles, deep fried Oreos. I did notice, and see, this is another thing that I don't think is so much a Pacific Northwest thing, the frying of all the foods. I've never heard of deep fried Oreos. Deep fried butter. Yeah, Texas State Fair. I've read about that, but I cannot imagine Jules doing deep fried butter, but I would love to know how it's done. So if you know how to make deep fried Oreos or butter or pickles or whatever it is, bring it on. Like, let's share that recipe and that process too, because some of the fun of writing a cozy is layering in that food, like I was saying I was doing today. So, you know, maybe funnel cakes. Yeah, funnel cakes. Definitely don't know how to make a funnel cake. That is not in my repertoire at all. I have my, like, you know, West Coast artisan food slant for Bake Shop. So we gotta fair this up, you guys. We gotta make it fried and delicious. The gummy bear? What? How do you deep fry a gummy bear? This is what I don't understand. I don't understand how you deep fry butter and it doesn't just melt, or even an Oreo. Like, how does it? Yeah, maybe it's frozen, but still. Chocolate covered bacon. Oh my gosh. Fried ice cream. I have had fried ice cream. That's true. So I guess it's probably the same kind of a concept. I know, we all need snacks now. Okay, but so for this one specifically, make sure if you have a specific recipe or you know the process. I mean, I can look it up and research it too, but I think it would be fun to share like a little how to amongst the pages. You know, so maybe it's the tech guy coming by one of the stands where they're making funnel cakes and he gets a little, like, you know, 2-sentence recipe or description on how they're made. The deep fried gummy bear was huge. Think Twinkie size. Oh, okay. That's insane. Whoa, New York State Fair serves a beef sundae. It is so good. What is in a beef sundae? The tech guy says, I don't know, but I want one. Salt potatoes. Oh my gosh, deep fried mac and cheese, deep fried. Frito pie. Chili poured into a bag of Fritos with cheese and onions. Oh my gosh, deep fried Snickers. Okay, so I'm definitely sensing a fried theme. So get ready to get your fried on. Oh yeah, can we send you a recipe later? Yes, 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 yes. That will all be later, but just make sure if you have an idea like that, you share it and be thinking about it here. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm dying. Beef sundae, mashed potatoes, beef, and gravy as a sauce with a cherry tomato on the top. I'm going to Google a picture of that tonight when we are done with the live. Thank you for that gem that I never knew existed and I needed in my life, but clearly I do. The tech guy could constantly be nibbling on all the food like Brad Pitt in the Ocean's movies. Yes, that's a great idea. That is real life. Yeah, it's true. Okay, this is so fun. Last but not least, question 7. And I'm so impressed with what you all came up with in terms of titles. But the clear winner was, drumroll, A Fair to Dismember. So brilliant. That gets a clap. I think Jeanette, remind me, but I think Jeanette came up with that one. Well done, whoever did. So great. There were really some fantastic options. Yeah, oh, there you go. That's the perfect cozy title, A Fair to Dismember. So that is our starting point for a title. And I think it sums up perfectly where our story is going to go. Marta says, you need to go to the Oregon State Fair this year and experience. I know, my deep fried level of knowledge is not so great, guys. So I got to work on that. Greatness. Yes, the name is awesome. Those punny titles are what makes it a cozy. I'm telling you, if you walk into a bookstore or even if you're perusing online and you see a title that says A Fair to Dismember, you know that you're probably going to get a fun and light read. Am I right? Walking tacos and Frito pie are the same thing. Oh, okay. That's what the Frito, it's in a bag. So it's like a miniature Frito, like you would have in an old lunch sack, I think. Okay, good. So much greatness. I love doing this with you. Do you all like this? Give me a thumbs up. Give me a heart. Let me know. Let me know how you're feeling. Oh, hey, and just like that. Cheryl Positano sends is getting a set of Bake Shop Mystery stickers. Look at that cute little Bake Shop Mystery collection. Cheryl, you're getting that. Yay. Okay, I am so excited about this. I can't wait to get started. So I'm going to come back through all of your amazing comments tomorrow. I'll start combing through them. I'll pull out some ideas for some polls, and then I will just take notes and start kind of thinking about how our story is going to start off. And so this week in the group, look for things to vote on. It might not be every question, you know, like we're not going to need to vote on title again. We're not going to need to vote on food again. But certain things like, you know, maybe in terms of the age range, we'll put out a vote between the tech guy being 20 and 65, you know, that kind of thing. So look for that probably sometime tomorrow. I always like to give people a day to get caught up because I know there are some people who can't come to the lives. So actually expect those questions maybe Thursday. And then next Tuesday, I will read the opening pages live here like we've done before. And then what we will do from there is anyone who wants to take a stab, get it? Come on, I got to pull out a pun every now and then. Anyone who wants to take a stab at writing, thank you. Anyone who wants to take a stab at writing will put your name in the comments, and then I will just choose people randomly each week. You will then go off and write a page or 2 or 3, however many you feel inspired to write. And this, remember, I cannot stress this enough. What? I'm going to say 5 is the upper limit. Yeah, we talked about that. And I'll go over all of this in more detail next week. But the whole goal of this is to have fun. So if you have an idea, just like what you're doing tonight, this is the level. You don't have to be a professional writer. This is just meant to be joyful and positive and creative. We're putting good creative energy out in the world through this process. And yeah, we're going to kill off the fortune teller, but she's fictional. He's fictional. It doesn't matter. And then each week I will read the new pages live, and we'll keep going and building the story. And then I will write the final pages to wrap it up. And just like we've done in the past, we'll have a big final celebration party. We'll eat all that delicious fair food, the taco to go and the Frito pie and everything that's deep fried and delicious. So that is the plan. Let's see. Does anybody have any questions on specifics? Otherwise, well, you can ask me that now, and then I'll tell you what's coming up. So on Thursday, I was going to do this last week, but I pushed it back to this week. I'm going to share some of what I'm reading, what I just read, what I'm excited about reading. If you have things that you're reading and suggestions come, we're just going to talk all things bookish. Next week will be the first of our pages. And then on the 21st, I'm going to do a Chilled to the Cone book club. So I know many of you have already finished book 12 in the Bake Shop Mysteries, and there's a lot that happens in this one. This is really kind of setting up the next chapter for Jules. So this book club will have spoilers. It will have spoilers. So if you haven't finished the book, don't come on the 21st. If you've finished the book, or if you don't care about spoilers, come on the 21st. And then every Tuesday for the next chunk of time, we will be revealing new pages. So it should be fun. It doesn't look like anybody has any burning questions. Good. Oh, how do I fit it in? I don't know. You know, I'm not doing a lot of other stuff other than writing, I have to say. That's kind of it. You know, in years past, I would have been traveling a lot for book talks. And also, this is a priority for me because it's super fun for me too. So I'm glad that you're all along and that you're all collaborating with each other, not just with me, but it's an entire group experience, which I think is so awesome. All right. Well, on that note, great ideas. Excellent plotting. 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock. Yes, that's right. So Tuesdays are going to be at 5:30. Thursdays are going to be at 5. That way I had heard from a few readers on the East Coast and the West Coast. On the West Coast, it's hard to get here right at 5. On the East Coast, it's getting late. So that's kind of my balance point. So Tuesdays are always going to be at 5:30. This is all Pacific time here on the non-fried food West Coast. And Thursdays are at 5 West Coast time. Yay. On that note, thank you all so much for your incredible ideas. This is going to be so much fun. I can't even wait to see where this takes us. The tech guy's going to be, he's going to be busy sleuthing around town. And be sure to vote once I put the polls up in the story collab group. All right. On that note, have a great night, and I will see you soon.